Hello Taurus, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages, as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second. I do have the tarot deck that we'll be using already shuffled, as well as the decks that I'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. All right, Taurus, in your recent past, you have strength with the death. Your past, in particular, your recent past has required a lot of strength. I feel as if this is strength required to close out a cycle, a pretty major cycle at that. And I feel like through this process, you're really put through it. And I feel like now you're, which we'll get to in just a second, but now you're struggling to recover from this situation, whatever this was, I don't know. I feel like you were really put through it. But I also feel like, this is a general reading, so that makes sense. I just feel like this could be a lot of different things, and in a lot of different ways. Now, this is the overall energy. We'll get more specific as we dive into tarot. But then in your current energy, you have release blocks with the 8 of Swords. So this is kind of what I was talking about in terms of having a hard time since this has happened, because I feel as if now you're struggling with quite a few limiting beliefs about your future. Beliefs like I'm never going to be loved, or I'm never going to have the financial stability I want, or the success that I want, or whatever the case might be for you. And I feel like those limiting beliefs are really arising because of what happened in the past, because of this cycle that was closed. Now you're kind of being put in a position by the universe to face these blockages so that those blockages don't control you. Those limiting beliefs don't control you. Because I feel the overall theme for the reading is be proud of yourself. So I kind of feel as if this is the universe saying, look, you're doing the best you can. You're handling this situation the best way that you know how. And yes, you're going through a period of kind of being put through it a little bit. But this period is happening, or it could very well happen, for your benefit. If you've watched my channel for a while, then you know that I'm a firm believer that everything in our life happens for us, not to us, as long as we're willing to find that perspective. Not to say you just need to be overwhelmingly grateful for everything bad in your life. But what I am saying is that when we go through tough periods, we're given a choice, and that choice is we can either allow the things that we go through to dictate our future in a negative way, meaning that we look at ourselves as a victim and we say, this situation happened to me, there's nothing I can learn from this, life just sucks. Or we can look at it from the perspective of, yes, I was a victim, or no, I didn't deserve this situation, but I can learn from this in some way to elevate my life in a way that I wouldn't be able to if the situation hadn't happened. So kind of using your pain and your struggles to your advantage. Now, in your immediate future, you have Change Your Tune with the 6 of Pentacles. Now, this Change Your Tune card to me is an energy of, kind of raising your vibration when it comes to your perspective of your future. Because, and I kind of already talked about that. Right now, I feel like you have a very limited perspective regarding what's possible for you in your future. Now, the reason you have that limited perspective is because of what you've been through. It's really natural. Us as humans, we take on the perspective of our experience. Whatever it is that we've been through becomes what it is that we expect, but that's why the healing and the manifestation journey go hand in hand, because your expectations become your results. So you have to heal the things you've been through to readjust and realign your expectations. And so I feel like that's a lot about what this future energy is about, because I do feel like you should be very proud of yourself for the amount of strength that you've had that's kind of been pulled out of you through this situation. But, the other thing is life isn't always about being strong. We are deserving of a life of abundance and ease, but typically there's a lesson associated with the strength that's required of us in order for us to get to that point. So, all right. Let's see, though, Taurus, what it is that you are dealing with. Recent past for Taurus, clarifying strength and the death. Recent past for Taurus, clarifying strength with the Death card. This is for Taurus's recent past, please. Recent past for Taurus, please. I actually feel like this is less about your recent past and more like setting the stage for the reading, because you have the Wheel of Fortune, which means everything is working out for you in your favor. Now, based on the overall energy of this reading, I don't really feel like it feels like that for you. And I feel like there might be a lot of reasons as to why it doesn't feel that way. I'm going to clarify this really quick. I want to clarify this Wheel of Fortune, because I feel like, well, hang on, actually. Clarifying this Wheel of Fortune, I saw the World pop out there for a second. So this is talking about that cycle. Okay, a new perspective is needed on your past. Okay, whatever happened, the ending of some sort of cycle here, is very much for your benefit. It's like this is happening, this really is happening for you. But there's this need to change your perspective on the past. Now, you might be like, how the hell is this happening for me? I'm alone, or I'm struggling financially, or I've lost someone that I really cared about, you know. I think that there's a difference between like this specific situation that happened is happening for you, as opposed to like what you're going to be able to learn and how you're going to be able to grow and evolve because of that situation is happening for you, which is kind of more what I mean. But with the Wheel of Fortune starting out this reading, this to me is like things are actually working in your favor. I don't think it feels like that though. Recent past for Taurus, please. The reason this cycle had to end is because, well, with the Empress in reverse, it was heavily, and maybe this cycle is still going on. Maybe you're still in the energy of closing out this cycle. But with the Empress in reverse, whatever this cycle is, it is, and however you can apply it to your life, because this could be in your career, it could be in your relationships, it could be in your friendships. I mean, it could be kind of across the board. But whatever this cycle is, it's a cycle of sacrificing your needs, your worth, even maybe your desires for the sake of something. Sacrificing a part of yourself for the sake of something else. And that's not going to lead to what it is that you deserve. It's going to lead to energies of you having to constantly give and not receive, or, you know, burn yourself out, wear yourself out for the sake of a paycheck or the sake of a relationship, but never really see the benefit of that in the long run. Recent past for Taurus, which is why it might not feel like it, but what you're going through is happening for you, because this is the universe saying like you deserve more than this, than what it is that you were investing in. Recent past for Taurus, or dealing with. The reason it doesn't feel like things are working out for you is because of how slow everything's moving. You're still kind of dealing with the aftermath of the cycle. You haven't yet gotten, it's like you're in this, and I know this is past energy, but I feel like you were kind of still dealing with this same energy in your recent past. It's almost like you're in this limbo period between the old and the new. And I feel like that's why you're like, I don't see how things are working out for me, is because you haven't gotten to that point yet. Current energy for Taurus, clarifying release blocks with the 8 of Swords. between the old and the new. That really like resonates. And that's why you have be proud of yourself. It's like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're not where you want to be yet, but you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Exactly where you're supposed to be. Release blocks with the 8 of Swords. See, now I feel like since this cycle came to a close, you've been in this building phase or rebuilding phase. And it's been a heavy phase. I mean, it kind of feels like to you, maybe it feels like you're carrying, this giant burden, this giant bag of sticks up a mountain. Like it's like that's why it's such slow progress. The amount of strength it takes to rebuild your life after something that has gone wrong, or after closing out a cycle, or walking away from something that doesn't serve you. The amount of strength that takes is, it's a really big amount. Like, I'm trying to think of a good word, but I can't think of anything that can fully describe what I'm trying to say. You have to dig deep. And I feel like that's what you've kind of been doing here. And it's starting to just feel heavy. I'm trying, there's this energy of I'm trying to keep going, or I'm trying to move in the right direction, but things are just intense. Things are heavy, and I'm having a hard time continuing. And I feel like because of that, you've been very overwhelmed. You're starting to second guess. You're starting to wonder if anything's ever going to work out for you, or if, whatever kind of fear might start to creep into your mind. And the answer is absolutely, things can work out for you. That there's no doubt that your life, the possibility of your life turning out the way that you want it to is possible. Or, it's never too late to change your path or to redirect your life. It is absolutely always possible, regardless of what phase of life that you're in, to be able to create an abundant life for yourself. But sometimes that thought can just be exhausting when we've been dealing with so much. And I feel like that's kind of where you're at right now. And this just kind of feels like the universe's way of saying, keep going. You will see the benefits of your efforts, if you just keep going. Current energy for Taurus, please. Current energy for Taurus, please. The Star with the Judgment in reverse. The reason that so many people settle or give up on their dreams or choose not to pursue their dreams, or whatever the case might be, is because there comes and always will come a time where you're experiencing the reality of your limiting beliefs being true. So for instance, you're starting a new business and you're 6 months in and you're building a little bit, but you're still not at a point where you're able to pay the bills, and you're struggling financially, and you're scared about what's going to happen next. That period of time, now I'm not saying it's actually 6 months, but whatever kind of resonates with you, that period of time is where most people give up, where most people will say, I can't do this anymore, fall back into old patterns, give up on themselves, give up on their path. Or for instance, you walk away from a relationship that doesn't serve you. You're waiting 6 months later. I don't know why I'm choosing 6 months. It's just the word that's coming to mind. Maybe 6 months is important to you. But 6 months later, you haven't met anybody else. You've maybe been on a couple of dates. Nothing's improved. You're still struggling. That period of time is where a lot of people would choose to settle, or would choose to go back to a relationship that doesn't serve them. The period of time between the old and the new is really, really important, because that period of time is where your limiting beliefs are going to be challenged. Your fears are going to be challenged. You're going to be pushed to tap into a level of faith that you might not even have had before. And if you choose to lean into the faith that things can get better, will get better, that you're supported in that process, that's where your dream life is created, but that's also where most people give up. Because between the old and the new is where the new is created. But between the old and the new is where a lot of people choose to go back to the old, because it's where things get really hard. It's where you start to just experience these limiting beliefs of I'm never going to get there, I'm going to fail, you're going to end up alone. Like, those beliefs are going to hit you really hard because, well, that's what it feels like you're experiencing. And so I feel like that's why, you know, with the Judgment in reverse and the Star, the Judgment in reverse, kind of the need to see beyond the circumstances to what's really going on. I feel like you're, you know, maybe in this energy of losing a little bit of hope, starting to, like I said, like starting to second guess yourself, starting to doubt the process as a whole. And this really does feel like the universe's way of saying, you're just in between the old and the new. Do not give up on the new. Do not fall back into old. Because, I mean, you can if you need to. You think that that's what's best for you. But, all right, current energy for Taurus. What does Taurus need to know regarding their current energy? Feels like a deeper message than what. Let me clarify it. So 6 of Swords and 2 of Cups. I want to clarify this 2 of Cups. Six of Swords, 2 of Cups. Six of Swords, 2 of Cups. The 7 of Wands and Star. Okay. So this period of time that you're in right now, Taurus, it's really, really going to take you, it's going to sound kind of cheesy, but let me say it and then elaborate on it. You giving yourself as much love, grace, understanding, kindness as possible, compassion as possible. I want you to try to think of yourself as if you're watching, as if you are your best friend. And if your best friend was dealing with what you're going through right now, what would they tell you? What would their advice be? How would they tell you to move forward? How would they speak to you? When you start looking at yourself as your own best friend, you start to realize that we often give a hell of a lot more love, compassion, understanding, grace to other people than we do to ourselves. And so I feel like this period of time, and as you move on from this past, from the old to the new, moving forward as if you are like coaching or guiding your best friend. Like, how would you be there for yourself? How would you speak to yourself? How would you treat yourself? What would you tell yourself to do? And I feel like the more that you can do that, the more that it's going to be a lot easier to take the steps forward, because when you're experiencing those limiting beliefs, that's where your self-criticism is going to come out the most, right? That's where you're going to start to say, I mean, am I even good enough for this? Do I even know what I'm doing? Am I even lovable? Like, is anyone ever going to love me if I set my standards as high, or whatever the case might be? The answer to all those questions is yes, absolutely. And your best friend knows that about you, right? But it's hard to know those things about ourselves. And I guess a better way to say that is like you would know that about your best friend. So kind of looking at yourself from that lens and saying, okay, if I was somebody else and I was trying to help that person, what would I do? How would I tell them to navigate this? And I feel like that can help you a lot moving forward, because I do feel like you're kind of doubting yourself right now, and that's natural and it's going to happen. But you know, the biggest, most important thing is not to allow that self-doubt to dictate your movements, choices, and decisions. All right, immediate future for Taurus. You have changed your tune with the 6 of Pentacles. Now, if you know me, you know that I do not predict outcomes. It is my goal to tell you what you need to know in order to produce the best possible outcome for yourself, because we do have more control over our reality than we think we do. So that is the purpose of this immediate future. Change your tune with the 6 of Pentacles. Immediate future for Taurus, please. Okay, I get it's using the same cards, but it's kind of a different, it's similar message but different, because you have the Seven of Wands in reverse, and I was like, did that just come out upside down? No, it's in reverse. And the Six of Swords with the Emperor in reverse. To me, what this is saying is, in every single moment of doubt, and again, this sounds kind of cheesy, very cliche, but in every single moment of doubt, the only thing that you have to do, Taurus, is keep moving forward. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Don't give up on the new. Don't fall back to the old. That is your only job. That's your only job. Don't give up on the new. Don't fall back to the old. Because you are, you're more powerful than you think you are right now. You are learning that. You're in the process of learning that. And you're going to doubt it, and you're going to second guess it, and there's going to be times where it doesn't feel like it. And that's going to be natural, and that's going to be those times, like I said, when most people give up, when most people fall back to the old or settle or give up on themselves or whatever the case is. So moving forward, like literally, and my motto for my own life and kind of just this whole journey and my own self-development is one foot in front of the other. As long as I can say that I am putting one foot in front of the other in the direction towards the life that I desire, then I can say that I'm doing the best thing that I know how, despite my doubt, despite my fear, despite my second guessing, despite the imposter syndrome that might pop up, like despite it all. As long as I can say that I'm putting one foot in front of the other towards the direction of life that I desire, then I can say that I'm headed in the right direction. And I feel like that is what you're kind of needing to adjust your mindset about your future a little bit, is because, if you woke up tomorrow without any self-doubt, and you could just know that you were 100% capable, and you were amazing, and you could understand your value from your own perspective, then you'd be unstoppable. But we're humans, and we go through trauma, and we experience situations that make us feel differently about ourselves, that make us doubt our worth, that make us second guess ourselves, that make us think that we're not capable or deserving or that it's possible. And those become our beliefs. That becomes how we view our future, is we say, well, because of this situation I've been through, that must be how things always have to be. But that's never the truth. Our future is at any moment in our hands to recreate. And as long as we're willing to move forward with new beliefs and new perspectives and a new mentality towards the idea that we are supported by the universe on our process, on our journey and in the process, and that during those times of self-doubt, that understanding that those are natural and those are going to happen, but those don't mean that you have to change course. In fact, the most important thing for you to do, now, when you experience, there's a certain balance between recognizing divine redirection and the need to change course and the need to keep pushing forward. But I feel like as long as you are moving forward in faith towards the life that you're deserving of and desiring of, then you're headed in the right direction. So I feel like really this is about overcoming self-doubt. And I feel like it's so easy to say that, right? It's so easy to be like, just believe in yourself and have faith that you're supported. And I know in practice it isn't that easy. I mean, I get it. But seriously, if there's anything that I've learned, it's that your doubt and your fear never go away, but your ability to stop believing it gets stronger. Immediate future for Taurus. Immediate future for Taurus, please. Ooh, that was a lot. I'm going to keep going. Okay, fine. Let me clarify this, because you have the Justice. To me, it's like this is the universe's way of saying, it will all pay off. Clarifying this Justice card. Yeah, there's the Death. This will all pay off. this will be worth it in the end. It's almost like if the universe could talk, it'd be like you'll understand when you get there. You'll understand when you get there why things had to happen the way that they did, and why things had to, why these challenges had to happen this way, and why you had to face these specific things. Like, I feel like once you get there, it will all be worth it. Like, if you don't give up on the new, when you don't fall back to the old, like, it will all be worth it. That's what I'm feeling here. All right, immediate future for Taurus. Be proud of yourself along the way too, because you're doing a lot, and you deserve, you deserve to treat yourself like you would treat your best friend. Immediate future for Taurus. Your perspective shift is going to be huge in your immediate future, especially with this change your tune card. Our perspective is everything. Our perspective on our past, our perspective on our present, our perspective on our future is everything. And our healing of our past is where we start to shift our perspective from a place of all of this happened to me to this is happening for me in some capacity, which can help us understand why we're, what we're dealing with in our present, which can kind of help us have a little bit more of a positive perspective about our future. So I feel like you're just in that process right now, but in particular, right now, Taurus, there is a need to change your perspective about your future. Because right now, I don't know if you have necessarily a negative one. I definitely know you have a very limited one in regard to what's possible. Trust me, I know that it's not that easy, but trying to open your mind and your heart to the idea that this is all happening for you and that things are working out for you, and you might not be able to see it or understand it or whatever the case might be. Oh my gosh, I have something in my... But everything is absolutely working out for you. But if you don't have the perspective of that, like, it's kind of, if you believe it's possible, you'll see opportunity. But if you believe it's not possible, you'll always see obstacles. The same kind of thing goes for when we look at our future through a positive lens. We're going to start to see how we can get there. But if we look at it through a negative lens and expect the worst or expect things not to work out, then we're going to kind of almost move in that direction. So understanding that your perspective is everything. And I understand that it's not that hard or not that easy to shift a perspective, but I also understand and have learned that the more that you just start to when you start to see your own value and know that you are deserving and worthy and good enough for the things that you desire, you start to have a better perspective on your future, because you start to say, why wouldn't good things happen to me? I'm a good person. I do the best I can. I have good intentions. I show up for the people in my life. I show up for myself. I'm doing all the best things. I'm doing the best that I know how to do. So why wouldn't good things happen to me? And once you kind of learn to look at things from that perspective, it can kind of start to shift things in that direction a little more. All right, I'm going to hop on over to the extended. This is where I'm going to dive into kind of more of the coaching aspect of the reading. So we have that overall view of what you need to know right now. This is diving into what you need to do right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. Thank you so much, Taurus, as always, for your support of my channel. I obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Taurus, I wish you absolutely nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Taurus.